Hi team, and welcome to the History of Japan Anchor Fact series of printables and mini lessons. One of the most important and positive transformations that ever took place in history was the transformation of Japan from an aggressive imperial nation into a peaceful post-imperial culture. It's a transformation that few appreciate today because Japan has been a peaceful member of the America-centric world for so long, and we take Japan for granted. But there was a time that Imperial Japan was as great a threat to world peace as Nazi Germany. And to make matters worse, the two were allies. We are lucky to live in a modern world in which Japan has accepted a peaceful place as an American ally, and we should not take it for granted. Why did Japan become an empire? Why did Japan feel so much fear and hatred for the world, including America? And how much has really changed in Japan? A fascinating story awaits you, the student of the history of Japan. So let's begin. If there's one thing Americans know about Japan, other than it is the home of martial arts like karate and judo, and that Japanese restaurants serve sushi, it's that Japan attacked America at Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, forcing the United States into World War II. We will, of course, take a closer look at that moment in history, because it was a terrible gamble that failed completely for Japan. But the result is what matters most to us today. Japan is a post-imperial culture. If you've been following our Anchor Fact series on various cultures, you might be getting used to this idea of a culture having certain qualities that begin with these four simple letters. Post, P-O-S-T. Post means after. A postscript in a letter is marked by P-S, and it's what you write after the letter, as an extra item to communicate. A post-war agreement or treaty is an agreement that comes after a war. In our various series so far, we have seen post-Maoist China, which means China after Maoism. And we will soon see post-communist Russia, which means Russia after communism. Now we have arrived at post-imperial Japan, Japan after abandoning its empire. Can you think of other cultures that once had an empire and then abandoned it? How about Rome? Well, Rome didn't just abandon its empire, it collapsed completely and was replaced by Europe. One example, however, is Britain. The British Empire used to be the largest in the history of the world. And now, yes, Britain is a post-imperial culture too. What does that mean? It's very difficult to adjust to having an empire and then giving it up. Having an empire means forcing other people to live under your control. It means being able to force other people to do what you want and to take their stuff. When people get used to living that way, they become addicted to it. They think they are better than the people they control. They don't respect those people. So when you lose all that, a big vacuum appears in your culture. You no longer have the answers that you used to rely on. You used to have a purpose that you no longer have. You feel lost and depressed. That's what it means to be post-imperial. How do we know that that's how Japan feels? The surest sign is that Japan's population is shrinking. That means that fewer babies are being born than there are old people who are dying. If this continues, Japan could literally disappear without anybody attacking or destroying Japan. That must seem strange, because Japan is a country known for advanced technology, wealth, and long life. These things are obviously not enough. The Japanese people seem to be lost. They don't have a good set of answers as to why they should enjoy life and have more babies. They're not the only ones. China's population is shrinking. So is Russia's. Did you notice something? Those are also cultures that are post-something. This is a completely new problem in history, and Japan is the first country to have this problem. One part of the problem is that Japan is a xenophobic culture. That's a big word. Xenophobic means afraid of other cultures. Very few foreigners live in Japan. Outsiders are generally not welcome. And the Japanese people do not interact much with the outside world either. They only speak Japanese and interact with each other. This fear of outsiders is a big part of the reason why Japan is the way that it is. But why is Japan like this? Are you surprised to hear this next point? The answer lies in Japanese history. It's one of the most important countries in modern history, and I'm happy to have you join me in this introduction to that story. See you again soon.